Good morning, students. Welcome to today's online class. In previous video, we explained Fleming's left hand rule is there. We know the use of Fleming's left hand rule. According to Fleming's left hand rule, if the forefinger indicates a direction of magnetic field, middle finger indicates the motion of the charged particle. So any charge moving inside the magnetic field, on that moving charge, some magnetic force is acting. Thumb represents direction of magnetic force. So with the help of Fleming's left hand rule, forefinger indicates direction of magnetic field, middle finger indicates motion of the charge, and thumb represents the direction of force acting on moving charges. And one more important point here, direction of force acting on moving charge is always perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. So that is about Fleming's left hand rule. We can identify direction of magnetic forces. Now in present video, we have to find what is the expression for magnetic force acting on moving charge. Any charge is moving inside the magnetic field. On that moving charge, some magnetic force is acting. So expression for magnetic force acting on moving charge inside the magnetic field. So for this purpose, assume it is one magnetic field. It is one uniform magnetic field. At every point, the strength of magnetic field is same. And assume it is the direction of magnetic field. So inside the magnetic field, a charge q. So inside the magnetic field, a charge q is moving with a velocity v. So q charge moving inside the magnetic field with v velocity along this direction. And assume the velocity vector makes an angle theta with field direction is there. According to resolution of vector, if any vector makes an angle theta, its magnitude resolved into two components. One component is v cos theta along adjacent side, v cos theta is there. And one more component means v sin theta. V sin theta component is always acts the perpendicular to v cos theta. So here totally v resolves two components, v cos theta and v sin theta. So by knowing all the parameters, we can find expression for a force acting on moving charge inside the magnetic field. So according to this, the force acting on moving charge is mainly depends on the magnitude of charges. Magnitude of charge is more, it is experienced by more forces. And also depends on strength of magnetic field. Strength of the field is more, it exerts more forces. Strength of the field is less, it exerts less forces. And a force acting on moving charge is also depends on one more point, nothing but velocity component. And velocity component means either v cos or v sin means we know, just explain. The force acting on moving charge is always lies perpendicular to field direction. But perpendicular to field direction, the component of velocity means v sin theta. Totally, expression for magnetic force. Expression for magnetic force acting on moving charge inside the magnetic field is nothing but Fm is equal to qvd sin theta. So it is expression for magnetic force acting on moving charge inside the magnetic field. Totally it is mainly depends on three factors: magnitude of the charge, magnitude of velocity, nothing but speed, and strength of magnetic field, and also depends on sign angle. Angle between motion of the charge and field is changes, theta value changes. Theta value changes means sin theta is also changes automatically, magnetic force is also changes. So that is about expression for magnetic force acting on moving charge It is a scalar form. Now, but we know force is a vector quantity. Or express the same expression in vector form. So vector form of magnetic force Fm bar is equal to Q is a scalar, but velocity and strength of magnetic fields are vector quantities. We know AB sin theta means A bar cross B bar. Here VB sin theta means V bar cross B bar. So it is a vector form of magnetic force acting on moving charge inside the magnetic field. So that is about expression for magnetic force acting on moving charge. One more important point: the direction of magnetic force is always acts perpendicular to the direction of field. The forefinger represents direction of magnetic field, middle finger represents motion of the charge, and thumb represents direction of forces. But in the direction of force, the component of velocity means v sin theta. So that's why in scalar form Fm is equal to Q into Vb, QVB sin theta. In vector form is nothing but a Q into V bar plus V bar. So that is about expression for magnetic force. Based on this magnetic force acting on moving charge, some important cases are there. It is the expression for force acting on moving charge. F is equal to QVB sin theta. The force acting on moving charge is mainly depends on sine angle is there. A theta value changes, a sine theta value changes, automatically force is also changes. So based on this, the first case, an important case, if theta is equal to 0. If theta is equal to 0 means what is the meaning? For example, it is magnetic field. Any charge is moving in the direction of magnetic field. Q charge is moving in the direction of magnetic field, then theta value is 0. So any charge is moving in the direction of magnetic field, then theta value is 0. Theta value is 0, then force F is equal to QVB into sine 0. Sine 0 value is 0. 0 into something value 0. Then no force is acting. So if the charge is moving in the direction of magnetic field, on that moving charge no magnetic force is acting. According to Newton's law, if no external force acting on the body, then the body moving along same straight line path. So if theta value is 0, the particle follows a straight line path. So any charge is moving in the direction of magnetic field, then nature of the path followed by the charge is nothing but straight line path. Next, case 2. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, so theta is equal to 90 degrees means what is the meaning? Any charge is moving perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. So Q charge is moving perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Then theta value 90 is there. So any charge is moving perpendicular to magnetic field, theta value 90, then force becomes F is equal to QVB into sine 90 value becomes 1. The sine value 1 means maximum force. So expression for maximum magnetic force acting on the charge, F is equal to QVB. So any charge is moving perpendicular direction of magnetic field, on that moving charge some maximum magnetic forces for acting. Under the influence of maximum magnetic force, a particle follows a circular path. So if theta value 90, the particle follows a circular path. So under the influence of maximum magnetic force, a particle follows a circular path. the circular path of radius r. So theta value 0 means straight line path, 90 means circular path. Next case 3, one more important case. If theta value lies between 0 and 8, theta value 0 means straight line path, 90 means circular path. If theta value other than 0 and 90 or lies between 0 and 90, then what is the nature of the path followed? This is. Then the particle follows helical path or spiral path or spring path. The particle follows a circular path at the same time linear path. That is called as variable circular path. So that is about important cases based on a force acting on moving charge. Totally force acting on moving charge depends on 3 factors. Strength of the charge, magnitude of speed, and the strength of magnetic force. So based on all these factors, the force acting on moving charge is depends system. Next continuation. If any charge is moving perpendicular direction of magnetic field, case 2 is there, if theta value 90. So if any charge moving perpendicular direction of magnetic field, then the particle follows circular path. In case of circular path, the required necessity force is nothing but centripetal force. Expression for centripetal force, F is equal to mv square by r. Next, any charge is moving perpendicular to magnetic field. On that moving charge, maximum magnetic force is acting. We know expression for maximum magnetic force, Fm is equal to qvb. So this one is one force and this one is one more force. Totally any charge is moving perpendicular direction of magnetic field. On that moving charge, maximum force is acting. Under the influence of maximum force, it is followed by circular paths. So equating both forces, centripetal force is balanced by a maximum magnetic force. Equating both forces, centripetal force means mv square by r. Maximum magnetic force means qvb. Both sides 1v is cancelled. Then expression for radius of circular path. So particle follows the circular path of radius r. Expression for radius r is equal to mv by vq. So expression for radius of circular path r is equal to mv by vq. M means mass of the charged particle. V means speed. B means strength of magnetic field. Q means strength of charge. Or it is also equal to, we know product of mass and velocity is called as momentum. So expression for radius in terms of momentum means mv means p by vq. So it is the expression for radius of circular path. Next, by knowing radius of circular path, now calculate what is the time period of circular path. We know time period means time taken by the particle to complete one rotation. Then calculate time period. We know time period means time means distance by speed. In one complete rotation, a distance traveled by the charged particle is nothing but circumference 2 pi r by v. Or time period t is equal to 2 pi by v into r is there. Here r means radius. Radius means mv by vq. Vv cancels. So expression for time period of the particle, t is equal to 2 pi m by vq. Here, time period of the particle is depends on mass, strength of the magnetic field and charges. So it is the expression for time period. By knowing time period, we can calculate frequency. Frequency means the number of oscillations made by the charged particle in 1 second. Or number of rotations made by the charged particle in 1 second is called as frequency. And frequency is also called as reciprocal of time period 1 by t. T means 2 pi m by dq. 1 by 2 means dq by 2 pi m. So it is the expression for a time period and frequency of charged particles. But observe this time period and frequency. A time period and frequency depends on mass, strength of the magnetic field and magnitude of the charges. But a time period and frequency are independent on these two parameters. Time period and frequency are independent on speed v and radius r. So that is about some important points based on if any charge is moving perpendicular direction of magnetic field. Then in this case, expression for radius of circular path, a time period of charged particle, next frequency of charged particles. So these all are the important points in case of a force acting on moving charge perpendicular direction of magnetic field. Next continuation, important one more force is nothing but Lorentz force. So what about Lorentz force? We know electrical force and we know magnetic force. The combination of electrical force and magnetic force is called as a Lorentz force. So any charge is moving simultaneously in both electric field as well as magnetic field. Then the charged particle experienced by both electrical force and magnetic force are there. The combination of electric force and magnetic force is called as a Lorentz force. For example, it is one electrical field. Inside this electrical field, one Q charge is moving. So any charge is moving inside the electrical field. On that moving charge, some electrical force is acting. Expression for electrical force Fe is equal to EQ. Or vector form means this one. A force acting on positive charges lies in the direction of field, and force acting on negative charges lies in opposite direction of electric fields. It is the expression for force acting on moving charge inside the electric field only. Similarly, now the same charge is moving inside the magnetic field. Q charge is moving inside the magnetic field with v velocity. Then we know vector form of a magnetic force Fn bar is equal to Q into V bar cross V bar. In only electrical field, electrical force is acting. In only magnetic field, magnetic force is acting. But here, Lorentz force related to both forces are there. If any charge is moving at a time simultaneously under the influence of electric field as well as magnetic field, then the charged particle experienced by electrical force as well as magnetic force is there. So Lorentz force can be defined as it is the vector sum of electric force and magnetic force. So any charge is moving simultaneously at a time, both electric field and magnetic field, then the charged particle experienced by both forces are there. Or both force means we know force is a vector quantity. So we have to take vector sum of electrical force and magnetic force is called as a Lorentz force. The symbol of Lorentz force Fl is equal to, force is a vector. It is a vector sum of electrical force and magnetic forces. Here Fe means vector form of electrical force, V bar into Q. Fm bar means vector form of magnetic force, Q into V bar cross V bar. Then expression for Lorentz force, FL bar is equal to, in both terms Q is common. Here Q is common, remaining value is V bar. Here Q is common, remaining value is V bar cross V bar. So it is the expression for vector form of Lorentz force system. Here Q means magnitude of the charge, E means strength of electric field, V means velocity or speed, B means strength of magnetic field. So by knowing all the values you can calculate the Lorentz force system. Next, for example, if electrical force and magnetic force, if electrical force and magnetic force both are acting in the same direction, the electrical force and the magnetic force. If electrical force and magnetic force are both are acting in the same direction, then Lorentz force. When two forces are acting in the same direction, the resultant force is nothing but Fe plus Fm. Next, case 2. If electrical force is acting in one direction and magnetic force is acting in opposite direction. If electrical force and magnetic force are acting in opposite direction, then resultant Lorentz force FL is equal to, when two forces are acting in opposite direction, resultant force is nothing but F1 difference F2, or F2 minus F1 or F1 minus F2 is equal to Fe minus Fm or Fm minus F2. So totally when two forces are acting in opposite direction. Or case 3, if electrical force and magnetic force acting in perpendicular directions, electrical force is acting in one direction and magnetic force is acting in perpendicular direction. If two forces are acting in perpendicular direction, then resultant Lorentz force, square root of Fe square plus Fm square. So that is about the important concept is nothing but Lorentz force. So any charge is moving simultaneously, electric field as well as magnetic field, and the charger particle experienced by both forces are. The vector sum of electrical force and magnetic force is called as a Lorentz force system. Next continuation, very important concept, velocity selector. It is mainly based on Lorentz force. If any charge is moving simultaneously, electric field as well as magnetic field, then the particle experienced by electrical force as well as magnetic forces. So based on Lorentz force only it is working is there. So that is about the concept of velocity selectors. And what is meant by velocity selector? So title అనేది velocity selector. Selection of velocity of undeflected particles are there. Some particles are, in case of some particles, electrical force is more. In some particles, magnetic force is more. But in case of some particles, both electrical force and magnetic force are acting opposite direction and net force is 0. Net force is 0 means no force is acting, resultant force 0 means it is undeflected. Continuously follows the same straight line path. So we are selecting a velocity of undeflected particles. So selection of velocity of undeflected particles is called as velocity selector. So for this purpose, we have to consider both fields are there. Electric field as well as magnetic field is there. For example, assume it is one magnetic field. Here into represents a direction of magnetic field is into the plane. The into symbols explains the direction of magnetic field is into the plane. According to Fleming's left hand rule, forefinger represents direction of magnetic field. Here direction of magnetic field is into the plane, into symbol, horizontal direction but into the plane is there. So assume it is one uniform magnetic field. At every point, the strength of magnetic field is nothing but B is there. And direction of magnetic field is nothing but into the planes. Next, here two metal plates are there. In the first metal plate P1, in the second metal plate P2 is there. Here these two metal plates or these two electrodes are lies in vertical planes. Magnetic field is lies in horizontal plane, but electrical field is lies in vertical plane. Here two fields are crossed fields. Two fields are lies perpendicular to each other. So between these two plates we are applying electrical field. Plate P1 is connected to positive polarity. So plate P1 having positive potential and plate P2 is connected to negative polarity. So it having negative potential. So between these two plates, electrical field is there, at the same time magnetic field is also there. Now what is the direction of electrical field? We know direction of electrical field is always downward direction. A direction of electrical field is always positive to negative. So direction of electrical field is nothing but a downward direction. So that is about here two fields, electrical field and magnetic fields are applied perpendicular to each other. Electrical field is lies in vertically downward direction and magnetic field is lies in horizontal direction but into the planes. The left side slits are the slits. The slit S1, the slit S2. For first slit having small hole is there, and second slit having one more small hole is there, and both the small holes are facing towards each other, exactly opposite to each other. And left side source is there, it is a source. We know source. Source of sound means emits sound. Source of light means emits light. But here source means it emits a source of charged particles. From this source, charged particles are coming. Now, charged particle coming from the source, passing through slits. That means narrow beam of charged particles, passing through slit S1 and enters into both fields. For example, Q charge enters into both fields. Here, electrical field is there, at the same time, magnetic field is also there. So, narrow beam of charged particles coming from source, passing through slit S1 and enters into crossed fields, perpendicular to both fields. The charge is moving perpendicular to both fields. Next, on this charge, on all the charges, electrical force is there, at the same time magnetic force is there. Different particles experience different magnitudes of forces are there. Because different particles have different magnitudes of charges are there. A magnitude of charges changes, electrical force and magnetic force is also changes. Some particles, in case of on every charge, two forces are acting. Electrical force is at the same time magnetic force is also there. We know direction of electrical force means downward direction. Force acting on positive charge is always lies in the direction of the downward direction. On the same charge, magnetic force is also acting. But how to find direction of magnetic force means using Fleming's left hand rule. According to Fleming's left hand rule, forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field. Forefinger indicates direction of magnetic field into the plane. Middle finger indicates portion of the charge. Then thumb represents direction of magnetic force. The thumb represents upward direction on this charge. Magnetic force is acting in upward direction and electrical force is acting in downward direction. So any charge enters into both fields. On the charge, both forces are acting. The direction of electrical force is downward direction. Direction of magnetic force is upward direction. In some particles, Electrical force is greater than magnetic force. Those particles are deflecting in downward direction. Because in these particles, downward force is greater than upward force. Some net force is acting in downward direction. These particles are bending in downward direction. These particles are stopped by this slit is there. In case of some other particles, magnetic force is greater than electrical forces. Upward force is greater than downward force. These particles are deflecting in upward direction. And these particles are also stopped by this slit S2. Some particles are bending in downward direction, some particles are bending in upward direction. But in few particles, both electrical force and magnetic force are both are equal. When two equal and opposite force are acting on the charge, net force acting on the charge, Lorentz force becomes zero. So on some particles, no resultant, no Lorentz force is acting. Those particles continuously following the same straight line path and comes out from slit S2. These particles are deflecting in downward direction, these particles are deflecting in upward direction, these particles are undeflected. So velocity of undeflected particles is called as velocity selector. So selection of velocity of undeflected particles. So in case of undeflected particles, a net force or a Lorentz force value becomes zero. Is that? Undeflected means net force is zero. The combination of electrical force and magnetic force is zero. Lorentz force is zero. But we know Lorentz force means the vector sum of electrical force and magnetic force. The electrical force is acting in downward direction and magnetic force is acting in upward directions. But when two forces are acting in opposite directions, the Lorentz force means Fe minus Fm or Fe is equal to Fm. Fe means electrical force, electrical force, F is equal to Eq. And Fm means maximum magnetic force because the charged particle moving perpendicular to magnetic field, maximum force. QVB. The expression for electrical force and expression for maximum magnetic force. Q cancel. So E is equal to V by D. But you have to find the velocity of undeflected particles. So velocity of undeflected particles V is equal to E by B. So selection of velocity of undeflected particles V is equal to velocity of undeflected particles. V is equal to E by B. The ratio of the strength of electric field and strength of magnetic field is called as a velocity. A velocity of undeflected particle V is equal to E by B. Similarly, a velocity of electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiations are moving the speed of light. So in case of electromagnetic radiation, a velocity means velocity of light C is equal to E by B. In terms of velocity of light, C is equal to E by B. If the velocity is other than velocity of light, V is equal to E by B. So that is about velocity selector. Selection of, we are not selecting downward deflecting particles. We are not selecting deflecting upward particles. We are collecting only undeflected particles. So, a selection of velocity of undeflected particles is called as a velocity selector. But what is the use of this velocity selector? With the help of this velocity selector, we can calculate the specific charge of a charging particle. We know specific charge means ratio of charge to its mass. So one use of velocity selector means we can find the specific charge of charged particles. Q by m, or specific charge of electron means E by m. Charge means Q by m. And this phenomena is used in mass spectroscope. Mass spectroscope. So it is used in mass spectroscope, and with the help of a velocity selector we can calculate the specific charge of charged particles. So that is about a very very important concept, a velocity selector, a formula, a diagram, a condition and uses are there.